Today, I'm going to show y'all how to grow a perfect tray of Anise microgreens just like this. So stay tuned for the full walkthrough. What's up everyone? Today we are in the grow space doing another full walkthrough. Today our full walkthrough is going to be anise. Now this is a crop that we actually use in our new cookbook, 36 Easy and Unique Microgreen Recipes. So I really wanted to share with you guys how we grow this crop. So let's go ahead and dive into the materials needed. So first, you're gonna need some trays. I have 3 trays in front of me. One is a no-hold 1020 tray. The next is a slotted 1020 tray. You can also use a mesh 1020 tray if that's what you have available, or you can just stick to a single tray as well. But today I'm going to be using this method here. And then the final tray that you're going to be needing is another no-hold 1020 tray. You want something that's kind of dark because later on you're going to be using this for blackout, and that way whenever there is light, it does not pass through this at all. As you can see, you cannot see my hand here, which is awesome. It's what you want. So now that we have all of our trays here, the next thing we're going to need is a grow medium. For this grow, I'm going to be using coconut coir. If you want to use a soil, that's perfectly fine too. I just prefer coconut coir. It does a great job, and it's what I have available to me right next to me, which makes it easy to get. So for these 1020 trays, we like to use 6 cups of grow medium, but I'm going to start off first with only adding 4 cups, and we will get the other 2 cups here in a moment. And basically what I'm trying to do is make sure I don't see any of that tray poking through. Remember, if you have any sticks, twigs, or clumps, try to break them down or remove any big ones. Okay, so now we got the first 4 cups of grow medium into our tray. It's nice and leveled out. We now need our seeds. For this grow, I am using the anise seeds from True Leaf Market, which whenever you open this, you're gonna get this beautiful aroma of licorice. And we're gonna be using 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon, which basically comes to almost 9 grams. Now, I wouldn't suggest going too much higher than 9 grams because you might start to get your tray really congested and it will start to cut off airflow and lead to other problems. Now we're just gonna start seeding this and making sure we're not doing any big clumps. Okay, so now that our tray is all seeded, we're gonna take that next little bit of grow medium, which is another 2 cups, and we're gonna cover the seeds. This will help them germinate better for this particular seed and help remove those seed holes. And voila, it's magic, they're gone. There's no more seeds showing. So let's just make sure that's even, there's not a big pile. Said one little area is pretty high up, and we are good to go there. So our next step now is to water this. For that, I'm gonna be using this pump sprayer because it makes things super easy. I don't have to sit there and do this over and over again. And we're gonna start from far away because my grow medium is rather dry, which I can tell because it's super light in color. Cool, now we can go in a little bit closer. I'm gonna give this a few passes, mostly because it was so dry, and I really wanna make sure that this water is getting down low enough to those seeds, because water is the key to germination, right? I think that should be pretty good. I'm gonna do one more just in case. Now that we are all watered, we're gonna take that last no-hold 1020 tray, place it directly on top, just like this. We're gonna grab some weight. For this one, I am going to be using a 15-pound paver. You can find these usually at your local hardware store. I think we got ours from Home Depot or Lowe's or something. But it fits perfectly inside this tray. So now that we have our weight on top of our seeds here, we're just going to take this and place it onto our shelf where it can begin germinating. I'm a little bit out of breath from lifting that up. But it's gonna germinate, and I'm gonna check that twice a day. I'm gonna water as needed. Usually I like to water twice a day, but if it looks like it's still too moist, then I'm gonna skip a watering. But that's about it for today. So I will see you guys here in a few days for another update. Today is day 4 of our anise grow, and I just want to peek at something that I noticed and show you guys what I would do for this step. So whenever I was coming into our grow space to just kind of glance at everything, I peeked open at this tray and I did notice that there was some mold in here. Now that's because of the moisture that's trapped within this and that there's no light penetrating through this. So there is going to be a little bit of mold here, and that's okay. All I need to do is I need to take an H2O2 spray, which we like to use 2 tablespoons of H2O2 with 1 liter of water, and you just put it in a little spray bottle or whatever you have and just lightly treat this. Now you don't want to go too crazy because moisture already is what's causing this. So I just want enough to kind of mist through that and give us a little bit of a watering. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tray, place it back on top exactly like it was, put my brick back on here because we are still germinating, and place it back onto the shelf. And from this point forward, I'm just going to make sure I take care of that mold if it does come up again, and I will see you guys here in a few days whenever we move into the next steps of this grow.
3, 2, 1.
Today is day 7 of our anise. We're going to pull this off the shelf so that way we can take a peek at it. So first thing we need to do is remove this brick.
I'm a little bit out of breath from lifting that up.
And then let's take the tray and see what we have going on. Okay, so I'm taking a look at this and I am seeing that this tray is germinating quite a bit. A lot of these are beginning to come out of this grow medium and they're starting to fold. Generally, whenever I start to see them fold like this, and I do see a lot of that yellow, I like to take my tray and put it into the light for the very first time. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So with that being said, let's take our tray and put underneath 3 of these Barina 20-watt lights. You don't have to use these lights, but these are the lights that we really do like because they do a great job. That's why we have an entire rack dedicated to just them. Entire rack dedicated to these, entire rack dedicated to them. So as some of you guys may know, whenever we put our crops into light for the first time, that is when we begin to bottom water. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be watering this with Farmer's Pride nutrient. If you don't have nutrients, you don't have to use nutrients. It's totally up to you. And today I'm going to be starting this with 2/3 cup of the nutrient, which I'm going to pour into the bottom here. And the reason why I'm starting off with only a little amount is because these are fresh into light. They don't need a whole lot. And my tray is still looking pretty moist and I don't want it to be too wet. So now that this is in the light and it's been bottom watered, I'm gonna come out later today, double check it, see if it needs any water or not, and I'll see you guys here in a few more days whenever these have greened up. So I'll see you then. Today is day 11 for our anise, and I just wanted to give you a little update. So basically right now what I am doing is I'm still coming out twice a day and watering this as needed, and I'm just kind of waiting for these to get more of that true leaf showing, just like this over here. I want those nice pretty flat leaves there. So right now it's just kind of the waiting period, and I will see you guys here hopefully in maybe 3 or 4 days whenever these have developed that true leaf. Today is day 16 of our anise full walkthrough, and these have been growing for 15 full days at this point. So I wanted to pull it off the shelf and we're going to take a look at it before we dive into harvesting this tray. So looking at this tray, it is perfectly even across the entire top. It's a beautiful color of green, and we are starting to get those true leaves coming out quite a bit, which is exactly where I want this today. So since these true leaves are coming out like this, it is time to harvest. I don't want to wait any longer than this because they could potentially get a little bit bitter. Usually at this stage, they're a nice fresh and licorice taste, and if you go any longer, you're going to lose that licorice. So let's go ahead and dive into harvesting this tray. So what do you need? You need your supplies. So first I got a knife, a nice sharp knife to glide on through this tray. Next, I like to take my data, so I have a scale, which I'm going to turn on and make sure it's on the right setting, which is grams for me. And I got a bag in here to harvest into. So now it's time to start harvesting. It's my favorite part. So this is a slightly shorter crop. Personally, I like it at this height. So I do have to be a little bit careful at first whenever I first start to harvest. It's always the starting point that's the hardest. Ooh, and immediately, whenever I got that first little glide through, I am just smelling that anise aroma, and it smells extremely good. So remember, whenever you're grabbing your microgreens to harvest them, you're not pinching them. You're just very light and gentle because you don't want to crush them. So I'm very, very satisfied with how this turned out. Couldn't have asked for a better grow. It's my favorite part. Okay, so from this entire tray, which started off with 9 grams of seed, we got about 36 to 37 grams. Our fan's kind of blowing it around right now. So that's a really good harvest for anise, especially because we started out with such a little amount of seed. So I'm very happy with what I got out of this harvest. Now, before I move on to the taste test like I usually do, I do want to look at the roots on this tray. So let's go ahead and look at them and see how healthy they are. We have our new tray clip, which we introduced yesterday, I believe, which, you know, it's going to be days behind from this video, but our new tray clip where it really helps to separate these trays, and it's very effortless, which I love, and it allows me to get in there and just kind of check on things really quick. So looking at these roots, they are very healthy, super white. Looks like a lot of them are coming out of these little spots here. So I'm happy, very happy with that. Okay, well, cool. So the overall health of this crop is perfect. That's what I want to see, is happy, healthy roots and a beautiful crop on top. So now let's go ahead and try our microgreens, because if they don't taste good, what's the point? And anise can be a little bit more pungent sometimes, so I'm only gonna do a tiny bit here. It's not like broccoli, y'all. So first off, aroma, perfect. I love that aroma. I always want to talk while I eat, but I'm trying to get better at that. So the flavor is perfect. It's nice and fresh, but also has that beautiful anise taste. And I'm gonna love using this later on in our cookbook, 36 Easy and Unique Microgreen Recipes. So I wanted you guys to know how to grow it, so that way you can also cook some of those recipes too. So is there anything that I would change about this grow? Absolutely not. I think I did perfect here, and I hope that you guys do a perfect job too. We really didn't have any seed holes on it, which that's exactly what you want to see. And like I stated before, the color, the health, and everything about this crop turned out perfect. That is the type of microgreen tray that I love seeing in our grow space. Well, you guys, that is it for this full walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it and have success with your success. I say that really weird, but I hope you guys have success with your microgreen grow as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments, or maybe some other full walkthroughs that you want to see, leave them in the comment section down below, and we'll get to those as soon as we possibly can. Be sure to check out our Instagram, that is @OnTheGrowFarms, and our Facebook as well is also @OnTheGrowFarms, and our website is www.onthegrow.net, where we have new products, new books, and all kinds of fun new things coming to it very soon. So I hope you guys keep on believing and enjoy this video.